Welcome to the Nate and Dorin podcast. We are professional videographers based in Vancouver, Canada, and we are here to talk about relevant topics within the video and media industry. I'm Nate, and I run Nate Dixon Media.
And I am Dorin, solo entrepreneur offering video production services. Today, we are going to look at some memorable ads and break down what we love about them and what we can learn from them. So just ads that we recall watching as we grew up or in the last few years. And, some you see a lot of ads growing up, but some of them kind of stand out or are memorable, and we want to look those up and see what's so special about them, dissect them a little bit. So why don't we start with you, Nate?
Sure.
You linked me something called gorilla drumming. Do you remember where and how you saw this ad?
Yeah, I watched this ad in the movie theaters. It was like a pre-roll ad. So it was on the giant screen, no other context. And then it just starts. And I'm like, what the heck is this for? So why don't we watch it together and then see what you think?
Yeah, for sure. Let me do a transition. And there we are. You can see my screen.
Yep.
All right, excellent. And let me know if you don't hear audio, but you should be hearing it. I'll actually raise the audio a bit. It's definitely unusual. There's not much context being given.
And this wasn't before like a Planet of the Apes movie or anything like that. He's just focusing. He's getting ready.
Yeah. Oh, he's about to play a drum set. This is definitely a great combination of using music and showing emotion on the... I don't think it's CGI, is it?
I think some of it's practical. I think some of it's CGI.
Maybe the facial expressions. Glass and a half full of joy. That is so interesting because, like, and at no point is the chocolate ever visible, or can we, like...
No, you've got like the colors in the background of the wrapper of the chocolate bar, like...
so a color theme.
So it ties in that color, but... Yeah.
But why a monkey, Nate? Why a gorilla? Why an ape? It raises so many questions, and I think that's what made it memorable. It's like, okay, if it's just another chocolate ad, it was just another chocolate ad, but what, probably in the brainstorming room, they were like, okay, what can we do to make it stand out? Like, monkey.
And yet so much is conveyed without any words being spoken.
That is also true. Very music, interesting.
Facial expressions, and then him just going for it on the drums.
Yeah.
Just like a slow build.
And
so that was always stuck with me.
Yeah. This seems like an older ad too. Cadbury.
Yeah, it is an older one, for sure. I don't remember what movie I watched it in front of. But if anybody knows, let us know in the comments when this came out.
Yeah. Definitely, I think, like, aside from confusion and questions, let's say those were intentional. Other than that, I think it's pretty well done. It's got some establishing and mood shots. It's got purpose with the song, and they do give context at the end, like a glass and a half full of joy. And at the beginning was a glass and a half full productions.
Yeah, so I guess.
That's interesting. I wonder if they've done anything else with this production logo.
Yeah, I don't know.
Cool. Did you, after seeing this ad, did you go and purchase this product?
No.
Well, then.
But it has always been in the back of my brain in a small little room saying, hey, remember that funny ad? So they've got some mind share of mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me share one from me. So for me, and I've definitely had this product after seeing this ad. Let me just make sure I do it in the same window so that we can see it. For me, something like trying to find this ad, I knew one thing. I knew that I remember Nesty had an ad where they fell back and landed in a pool of like Nesty or of water, like super refreshing, and that was such a visual that struck really well with me. Trying to find that ad, I couldn't find it because I found the splash, but I couldn't remember what was before it, and I found like 5 or 6 different ads that had the splash until I realized it wasn't one ad, it was the whole ad campaign. Every single ad had that distinctive element. So and they actually had an ad where they did a compilation of that, and it's actually pretty funny. So I'll just play it right now.
Okay.
North Americans love to cool down and refresh themselves by taking the Nestea plunge. But what about places where there is no Nestea? Places like here in Upper Mongolia, Uganda, Scotland, Micronesia. Most of Switzerland does have Nestea, but not here in particular. Take the plunge.
So I thought that was super awesome that they combined their signature thing with like a comical type of thing. It doesn't really make sense, especially the guy in where was it?
Scotland, Micronesia.
Like he's got the ocean right behind him. He could literally do it like 10 steps behind him. But that's not the point. The point was to be comical and to go on the thing that they've built up. The take the Nestea plunge apparently was the slogan. And yeah, this I think I had. This is like a full ad with that element.
Okay. The black bars, very cinematic.
Dude. Oh yeah. Not anymore. That's a cool transition.
Nothing refreshes like Nestea.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is what I remember. Like this element of just like carefree, just splashing, getting cool, refreshed. This is one. That's one way of, again, they probably thought, okay, how can we make our product be different from every other drink commercial that you see? Well, how do we show refreshing? How do we show the fact that we cool people in the summers? I don't know what their thought process was exactly, but this is obviously kind of on that line. And I think it's, for me, it's one of the most memorable drink ads that like I relate to the most. Like, sure, Coca-Cola has like Santa and Christmas lights and polar bears, and that has a warm, fuzzy and festive and snowy feel to it. But nothing refreshes me when I think drink. I think of this. So yeah, and yeah, they went. It was actually, it was interesting. They went from a cinematic look, because they were very serious, and then they went to like full width or full height, I should say, to bring you back into reality. Like, this is not a fictional thing. This is a real thing. Drink our stuff. Wow.
Yeah, it goes from being like a Western back to a commercial.
Mm-hmm.
When they zoom in on him and back and on the vending machine, I was like, oh yeah, I could
Hmm.
totally see like a Clint Eastwood movie.
Oh, yeah,
doing
yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
See, and the little sweat dripping down, like all these subtle elements, the dry, barren in the middle of nowhere, like all of these are purposely selected to give you the clear message of like completely dry, completely hot, completely thirsty.
Mhm.
Not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna get an ST this week. Won't expect a plunge and it's not hot, but I am craving it now, and that's what ads do sometimes. Oh, what's another cool one from your list? This one. This is a classic. This is probably a lot of people's most memorable and favorites because this is one that just broke the meta, as we say.
Do we say that?
Well, you're a gamer too, right? Like Rocket League has a meta, doesn't it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So I don't know if outside of gamer world there's a meta thing. Like basically it just means like the norm. It broke, like it went beyond outside of the box with the thinking of how to do an ad. It stood out in a very creative way. Both I think both in narration for this one and both in visual storytelling. So let's just play it and
Hello, ladies. Look at your man. Now back to me. Now back at your man. Now back to me. Sadly, he isn't me. But if he stopped using lady-scented body wash and switched to Old Spice, he could smell like he's me. Look down. Back up. Where are you? You're on a boat with the man your man could smell like. What's in your hand? Back at me. I have it. It's an oyster with 2 tickets to that thing you love. Look again. The tickets are now diamonds. Anything is possible when your man smells like Old Spice and not a lady. I'm on a horse.
Brilliant, man. Like, this is like peak cinematography, shall we say.
The preparation for everything is just
the behind the scenes. Yeah, like most of this stuff was like what, green screen, right?
Like, some of it could be, but like when he's flawlessly transitioning to walking on the boat and stuff, like yeah, it's next level.
So well done. Like
hello, lady.
Like even the narration, he establishes like the dialogue, he establishes instantly the tone, like, hello ladies. It's so weird. It's a man's product, but he's targeting the ladies. But the men are listening and they're like super aware because another dude's talking to the ladies, creating an impression, so now the man has to live up to it. It's genius.
Look at your man. Now back to me. Now back at your man. Now back to me. Sadly, he isn't me. But if he stopped...
Like, right now, I'm devastated. If I was, like, next to my wife and it's the first time we see this ad, it would be so awkward.
Using lady-scented body wash and switch to Old Spice, he could smell like he's me. Look down. Back up. Where are you? You're on a boat with the man your man could smell like. What's in your hand? Back at me. I have it. It's an oyster with 2 tickets to that thing you love. Look again. The tickets are now diamonds. Anything is possible when your man smells like Old Spice and not a lady. I'm on a horse.
That's just amazing.
I was watching the diamonds really closely that time, and I was like, okay, that's just a Compton element. But then when he's on the horse, they're landing on the saddle and cascading realistically off that.
Oh yeah.
So either
it smells like really Old Spice and not a lady.
I am noticing when the deodorant's coming up, I am noticing a little bit of a tracking issue.
It's a now diamond. Anything is possible when your man smells like Old Spice and not a lady.
Yeah, right there, it kind of floats.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like they used a very small space and a green screen, and I think here I remember seeing behind the scenes, I think he sits on just the saddle, like on a little stool or something propped up. And yeah, the shower's obviously fake because like it's running water and it goes away, so you can't like construct that. Yeah, it's just It's just so good. We can talk we can admire a million things about this. And they
And
have
then the musical cue at the end.
yeah, I was just
Super
about to
memorable,
say that.
right?
Yeah, just a little tune, a little whistle. And they did like a whole bunch of these. And I think they're still
Mm-hmm.
doing it. They just have different people and different twists now. Because I think I saw an ad the other day with it. And they have like this guy that's just constantly getting in danger and like hurt and like dirty, but he's like, oh, but I still smell good, so I smell like I'm okay. And yeah,
Mm.
they just kept going on this campaign, and that's how you know you have a good, unique way to promote your product is when like 10 years later you're still running the same thing, and it's still like it becomes iconic at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So very cool, very cool. I watched this ad, which kind of like the Nesty one, blends movie and seriousness with a product. So I don't know if you've seen this Kia commercial, The Truth. They referenced The Matrix. When I saw this, I was like, this is awesome. I would love to create an ad like this. I'll just play it for
Okay.
you.
Let me tell you why you're here. It is the world of luxury that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
We just want to get our car.
Take the blue key, you go back to the luxury you know. You take the red key, and you'll never look at luxury the same again.
This is unreal.
No, it's very real. This is what luxury looks like.
This is what it feels like.
This is what it sounds like.
Nessun dorma, nessun dorma, ma il mio mistero è chiuso in me, il nome mio nessun saprà, vincerò,
Like, I've never seen a Kia commercial to stand out, but this one stands out. And like they go on the whole Morpheus, like it's not just a cameo. Like this is Matrix Part 4, basically. So what'd you think of that, Nate?
Yeah, that was good. I like how they definitely made strong references to the movie. Yeah, the reflection in the sunglasses.
Yeah, they went for so many similar effects.
Yeah, and then when he opens his mouth to sing, you're just like
I like how he just pops in right here.
This is unreal.
No, it's very real.
No, it's very real. Oh, this like I can imagine that. Like I feel as a videographer, I feel this moment when you nail this line and you capture it. You're like, oh, this is the best part of the commercial and the edit, creating like that cut and that like effect.
It's very real.
Because it's combining both serious and funny in such a good way. Like he's super serious, but he's super trolling at the same time.
Yeah, that's good.
So I think that's probably the element I respect most about this commercial. It combines serious and funny, but in a way that I think it's a good commercial and it's a serious product, right?
This is what...
Yeah. They didn't go full green tint like with the Matrix, and I would have appreciated that. And yeah, the opera singing was just like, what's happening here? I don't know. They couldn't figure out what else to do with him. Like, oh, he can sing to make it dramatic.
And then everything just goes nuts.
Oh yeah. Have you ever had an ad that you don't skip? Like, let me give you an example. I had this one ad. I usually skip like those skippable 5-second, 15-second ads. I usually skip them, but I've had one or two in the last while that I couldn't skip. I just thought it was so good. Why does it have one dislike? What is wrong with people? And this Audible one is just so well with selling itself. I'll just play it for you. Have you seen this one?
Oh, I've never seen this one. Let's see it.
All right, you better listen to this one.
He's got science in one ear and fiction in the other. And now he's reaching the point where his mind is about to be blown. That is the power of a great performance.
Yeah. I would watch this every time it showed up on my phone. Cause it's like it combines it sold me on sound, and audiobook can be suspenseful and immersive. And this ad does that. It uses visual elements to do it too. But see, now if I wouldn't see the visual and just hear the audio, that picture would be in my head.
Right.
He's got science in one ear and fiction in the other.
Like this quick sequence of all these little sounds. Like I actually don't listen to audiobooks, so I wonder if people go through the effort, if you're like an audiobook of a novel or something, if they would add these elements.
I think some of them do.
Oh,
yeah,
then I would totally
it is.
love it. That would be like better. That would be the perfect in between reading a book or listening to it and watching a movie. That would be the in between. Like give me audio, but immersive audio. I would love that.
He's reaching the point where his mind is about
and also like all the elements here, like the coffee starts spinning into a galaxy, and the lighting outside changes, his expression changes, like all these things change so quickly. It's like a subliminal of what could be going on in your mind, right? That's kind of the effect books have. Like you're in your own little world that's being presented to you, and you're living it in your own personal way. This is a good visual representation of that, I feel. Yeah. Coffee goes into like a galaxy spiral into his eyeball, and then the snap to reality is the bill, which is hilarious.
That is the power of a great performance.
Yeah, good acting. So yeah, Audible. That's again when you know you've got a good ad, when I appreciate the product without ever having experienced it. I'm just convinced. I'm convinced. Do you have anything like this? Like I never skip this when I see it.
Yeah, I've got an ad that was for one of the World Cups, actually, the Soccer World Cup.
Oh.
Check it.
Here's the link.
I think it's actually two. It shows like two of the ads.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if they're different, but yeah, check it out.
All right. Which World Cup?
I think it was 2006.
Ooh, oldie. Okay.
Oldie. And this is the best quality I could find.
That's fine. They're already going for an old look.
Sí, pares. 1, 2 y 3. Sí sé. Cacao.
I think I've seen this. This is awesome. This is bringing like a childhood wish come true.
They're like, what?
Platini. Oye, Defoe.
Oh, this is before Zidane did the headbutt.
He's like, I'm the captain.
Ten cuidado con Sisé que muy bueno y muy rápido, ¿vale? Vale. Lampard, Robert, venga, vamos. ¿Listos?
Oh, it's an Adidas thing. I thought it was gonna be a FIFA thing, like make your own roster, trade players, and make your own team. That's what I was expecting. It's an Adidas thing. I actually see very little of the shoe.
Or, yeah, they do a close up on the ball. So Adidas did the
gloves
ball,
too.
And of course, the gloves, some of the jerseys.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on the kids. It was on the ball, and on the kid's red shirt. There, like at the bottom here.
¿Listos?
So what if you could play a game of pickup with every player in their prime, like even Beckenbauer, so from like the 70s or wherever he's from? He's just like, oh, okay, I guess I can summon him.
You know what? There's probably a VR game that can do that for you.
Well, FIFA did add that in too, yeah.
Oh,
like
man.
In one of the years, they added like legends or something, so you could get players on your roster from older players, like in their prime, kind of thing.
Wow, that's awesome. And then it goes into a second ad.
Yeah, I'm not sure how different this one is.
Continuation.
Okay, you go. The game.
Wait, I have to go back. Did they just pass a lady with the groceries? Yeah, they did. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
That is awesome. Like right here, it's just a person with groceries. That is so typical of like playing in the yard as kids. That's really awesome.
Sorry. Aquí, pasa. Tú, al banquillo.
Sub them out.
Yeah.
Oye, tira. ¿Qué? ¡A casa!
That's exactly how you'd say it in Romanian too.
Come home.
Yeah. That is so awesome. See, that's another cool thing that this one does is it finds what is the most relatable thing you can do with the product or subject matter you're given. So like this was clearly targeted at how to get like the younger, the kids excited about FIFA, right? Like, oh, don't you wish you could play with them? Like, well, watching them on TV, same thing. or Adidas, they now you associate that brand with that feeling, right? A casa means home, where when used as a verb, come home.
Yeah, and they did a pretty good job when Beckenbauer came on, like rotoscoping him out. So like it's only shown briefly in the first half. I didn't actually see him too much in the playing part, but when they call him onto the pitch right near the start, he's like one of the first players called. Yeah, I think that's there. He just runs on, and you're like, oh, that doesn't look too out of place there.
So they just rotoscoped?
Well, like maybe they had a body double for that handshaking, but there's no way they had green screen footage of him running onto the pitch from the 70s.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Oye, Defoe.
Yeah, that's real good.
Yeah. The best visual effects is the kind you don't notice.
Right. Yeah, like you didn't notice it because it was poorly done or it looked out of place. You noticed it because it was just you had context to connect or to see a disconnect logically happening. Like, hey, this guy shouldn't be in here.
You're like, what? That seems that's magic. Yeah. So yeah, I remember watching that one on TV, and I was like, "Oh, that's so cool."
Yeah. Okay, I have one more to share. Your gorilla one reminded me of this one, Nate. This is, I would categorize as funny / awkward. Maybe I wouldn't say necessarily bad, but it's got something weird going for it. So this is 5 Panda cheese commercials. And I won't explain anything because everything's kind of self-explanatory if you
Okay.
follow it. Have you seen any of these?
No.
Okay, yeah, like your first reactions. You either will like it or hate it.
فايز اعمل لك معايا سندوتش جبنه.
Okay, the subtitles are hard to see, but basically the gist in each one is somebody asks them like, "Hey, do you want cheese or should we buy cheese?" Like, and the answer is always no. And then the same thing will happen to that same answer. So let me just play that back for you.
Okay.
فايز اعمل لك معايا سندوتش جبنه.
Just you know why you and
باندا ما يتقلهاش لا.
صباح الخير يا استاذ صفي. يلا يلا عشان الفطور جايبه لك النهارده سندوتشات جبنه.
لا والله ماليش نفس. Just you know why.
Like, all right.
You said no to my cheese?
I hope he doesn't unplug the monitor. His heart bleeds or something.
No. I love that slow look to the nurse, like, leave.
Yeah, what you gonna do about it?
باندا ما يتقلهاش لا.
قلت لك موزاريلا باندا يا عبد العزيز.
الاوردر ما فيهوش جبنه.
Just you know why.
والله هو.
Not me. No.
It's like if How to Basic was a commercial producer.
Yeah, totally.
ايه ده؟ ما تيجي نجيب باندا يا بابا.
يا ابني ده يا ابني ما جبنا حاجات كتير.
Just you know why.
I think this one was my favorite.
Will buy and
باندا ما يتقلهاش لا.
He almost slips and falls.
بابا مش هنجيب باندا يا بابا.
just you know why.
Did he learn?
Get one. Get another one.
واحده كمان.
And that's how you tame a panda.
باندا ما يتقلهاش لا.
I don't know, man. That just stood out to me. It was like low effort. Like, this is, I don't know if they purposely had low budget and they had to think of, like, again, like, how do you make it stand out? Like, oh, you say no to cheese, panda. You made a sad panda. I think that's a South Park reference, actually. But this is like a country that probably wouldn't allow South Park to be aired. Probably one of those Middle Eastern. I don't know exactly the language, but it kind of sounds and looks like it. So yeah, sad panda.
Yeah, I can see why that gorilla ad reminded you of this.
Yeah.
You know, strong use of music and a panda in a suit, and
yeah, that one was about candy, chocolate. This one's about cheese.
yeah, he'll just ruin your pizza, or he might take away your medicine and possibly leaving you to die.
Like, without cheese, you don't deserve to live. All right, let me transition us back. I think that's all we had. There's obviously so many ads, but these are like the most memorable, the ones that like, oh, I remember that one. That one was funny, or that one was just like memorable.
Yeah.
So all of these, what would you say the most common element was in all of these?
Probably humor.
Hmm.
I think when
Yeah.
it has that humor element and it's something unexpected, that's what really sticks with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You know?
that's true. Humor combined with something that is relatable, like an emotion or feeling.
But then with an unexpected twist. Like
something unexpected stands
those
out.
guys splashing, but then the people who aren't splashing and that guy falling off the cliff, it's like they have it in Switzerland. Unfortunately not here. And then you're like, oh shoot, he's dying.
He fell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Cool. Well, yeah, that's some great pointers to remember if we ever do a product ad and we have to come up with a script. Here's some inspiration, some key things to take away. So I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, try and get an animal costume. That's a good start.
Ooh, that would be something. That would be very ambitious to, instead of going for like, oh, what's the most glorious and flashy, like if you look at Kickstarter videos, for example, those are really flashy and really have to create a professional impression, like, oh, this thing solves all your problems. That's kind of the meta, the go-to approach now. It would be fun to actually pitch it to a client and be like, let's just make your product stand out somehow and see where it's a bit of a gamble, but these were end products of like an official marketing team and like a proper like brainstorming and a whole production crew. So I don't know if us as solo entrepreneurs can do something like this. Depends how well we can sell, pitch the idea.
Yeah, and what kind of message the company or business wants to send.
Don't screw with our product, buy it, or else. Panda. All right, Nate. Well, if we ever produce one of these, make sure that we present it on the podcast. That would be cool.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, looking forward to that. And we already had the Romanian word of the day, akasa. So, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. I think that's a wrap. Short and sweet. Thank you for watching. You definitely should have watched this one. Probably just audio listening didn't make much sense. And yeah, leave a comment or just message us about what topics you would like us to discuss in the future. And if you have any ads that you would like us to review and kind of break down a little bit, maybe more in depth than we did now. We just quickly skimmed over them now, but it was a lot of fun.
Definitely. And be sure to subscribe to not miss an episode of the Nate and Dorin podcast. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or whatever you use to listen to podcasts. This has been Nate and Dorin. Thank you for watching and listening.